What is Xeno-Zip? What does it do? And where does it come from? This special pill was mentioned in a few sources of the comic books and novels. Let's begin with the story of aliens' genocide in 1991. Back on the Alien Homeworld, there's now a red strain of aliens which were caused by some type of mutation. Now the two species are fighting over territory. Back on Earth, everyone is trying to forget the memory of the alien plague. So over in Baghdad, they're having a friendly competition in the Goodwill Games. Different nations will compete against each other, kind of like the Olympics. Before they start a race, one of the athletes named Oriander will take a pill of Xeno-Zip, and the results were shocking. He sprinted faster than the others in the 100-meter dash, but also would not stop. He picks up speed and keeps running, smashing through a wall until he slams into a post, stopping him completely. The pill would then be tested on a soldier in the military. This man would gain incredible strength, uncontrollable rage. It went on a rampage, taking down other men that fought against it. Even when its left arm was blown off, it showed no reaction to pain. The only way they stopped him was to blow it into pieces. Now this new wonder drug is made up of compounds not found on Earth. They did try to synthesize it with other ingredients, but this new batch they sold had some side effects. Mr. Grant leads a company called Neo-Pharm. When speaking to his chief scientist about this, it seems their version is imperfect. The only place to get certain elements is from the Alien Homeworld. There could be lawsuits that might stop the production of the flawed version, but he's willing to supply the armed forces with the flawed version if the general agrees to help Mr. Grant on this mission to the Alien Homeworld, and so they come to an agreement. The plan is to reach the intersection of the hive. The material they want is in the large central sac, where the Queen Mother is surrounded with this royal jelly they want, but the smaller pods contain a vicious creature that could be awakened to protect the Queen. The team that is being sent on this mission will be wearing a special suit. It's covered in a gelatinous substance that can neutralize the acid blood from the aliens, reducing its pH level so it's like water. Now instead of bringing another Queen Mother back to Earth, they have another plan. The scientists already had an alien, but it's only an infant, and they believe that if they feed this creature the royal jelly, it will mature into a Queen Mother, which would give them an ongoing supply of royal jelly. But soon after, someone would sabotage Mr. Grant's plans, and they would eliminate the alien they already have. They're not sure who did this, but they proceed with the mission anyways. So back on the Alien Homeworld, there is an ongoing war between the black and red xenomorphs. When they reach the planet, they would land and surround the ship with some type of shield. They would get rid of the aliens already inside this dome when they land, and then plan their next move. What they're going to do is nuke the mutant Xenos, leaving only one side to worry about, but they first need to locate the hive they're looking for. Mr. Grant would insist on joining them during the mission. When Mr. Grant goes to find the spare suit, it's already been damaged, but someone also left an alien egg behind it. They assume it's Bagali, who might still be working for MedTech, but they need him on this mission. The team would then nuke a site, and the red aliens would retreat to the hive. Now they enter a different hive, and they would encounter the elite guards. These aliens are psychically linked to the Queen Mother. She only releases them when she senses danger. They do find the Queen Mother, but they end up blasting her when she attacks someone. They later find out who betrayed them. It's Corporal Henriksen. Mr. Grant and the Major would eventually disarm him, but as the aliens start getting into the hive, a fight breaks out between Mr. Grant and Henriksen. Mr. Grant would get the upper hand and shoves a bunch of Xeno-Zip pills into the mouth of Henriksen. The Corporal would go on this rampage against the aliens, serving as a distraction while the other two try to escape. They do make it on board, and as the ship takes off, someone throws their saxophone towards the aliens and it actually hits one. Xeno-Zip was also mentioned in the Aliens Hive story. It also went by the title of Aliens Harvest. The unprocessed jelly was used to relieve symptoms of sick people, but the effects could vary from each individual. In the story of Aliens Havoc, Xeno-Zip is only mentioned in part of the story, but it does add to the theory that aliens who are exposed to the jelly would greatly accelerate the reproductive cycle. In the story of Aliens Rogue, it says the drugs processed from the alien matriarch's royal jelly are now available commercially. Dr. Ernst Kleist was trying to create an alien that was less predatory, something he could bioengineer to become man's tool. And during this process, he says he was not able to produce the equivalent queen. The royal jelly they used was not enough. He tried splicing its DNA, but in the end, he made something else, an alien king. In another story called Aliens Music of the Spears, Xeno-Zip is brought up again. Mr. Damon Eddington gets addicted to consuming the jelly, which eventually affects his reasoning, and it just gets worse throughout the story. So in other words, he goes crazy. The royal jelly is brought up again in the story of Aliens Colonial Marines in 1993. It showed the physical changes on humans that were exposed to the royal jelly, and they were called the Bugmen. Within the story of Aliens Cargo, a man named Gerald Coyle was a smuggler of alien products. It mentions Xeno-Zip and also the royal jelly. In the 2010 video game Aliens vs. Predator, the royal jelly does make an appearance in the Alien campaign. It says the humans have been using royal jelly for experiments. So that's it for this topic in the Alien lore. If you enjoyed it, leave a like on it. Also subscribe. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one.